Hello people, welcome to Waynecast 14. If I look a little bit happy and smug, there is a damn good reason today. Now, I will have to apologise for the traffic, but it seems that everybody needs dogs out with a car today. For those of you that follow these regularly, you know that I normally record 3/4 of them when I'm out on my long walk on a Wednesday. In the middle of the countryside, you can see over my shoulder there. So, this one's taken up most of it, especially the first part anyway, with some rather interesting news. You know that for a while, actually since these have started, I've been hinting at a number of big projects that I haven't been able to mention. Well, I've been given the go-ahead. The NDA has been lifted from one of them. So I'm proud to say that before very much longer, you'll be seeing a book on Zbrush, wrote by yours truly. I've been working on this since just after the middle of last year. I haven't been able to say a damn thing about it at all. So there's only about 5 people outside of family, you know, that know of its existence. So, you know, Pixelogic have known all the way along because, you know, it's what we do. And they've been great to me, so Ryan Kingsley and is great to do the foreword and be the technical editor, which is great because I've got immense respect for Ryan. Well, as well as the other guys at Pixelogic, but I've got immense respect for Ryan. He knows he's, like, it's what you'd say around here, he knows his shit, right? He knows his business, and he's good at what he does. Can't ask for anything better. And he's probably the best guy to do that sort of forward and technical editing job. So what's the book about? And what is it and what isn't it? Well, what it isn't is a glorified pamphlet. You're not talking about some short book that you'd see in sort of Waterstones or somewhere, and a couple 100 pages long, that you read in a couple of maybe afternoon or a night or something, and that's it. No, this is a hefty book. I can't give you exact lengths, but let's just say it's long. Alright? I'll be surprised if there's any more books as in depth as this one on Zbrush for quite a while. I've done a lot of research, not just on Zbrush, but on digital sculpting itself. So this book doesn't just aim to make you an expert in Zbrush, which is what it does. It also aims to teach you from the ground up how to digital sculpt. And I won't be just making a model. There's a number of models throughout the book, some that go to form the final scene. I'm making an entire scene in the book. So it's not just a model or a head, it's the whole lot, the full shebang. So this will, I put a lot of work into it basically, and it'll learn you from either from the ground up if you know nothing, or if you're already intermediate or advanced user, you're guaranteed to find a whole lot of stuff in this book. There's something for everybody. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've been writing professionally, i.e. getting paid for it, since I was 14 years of age. So no matter what you think of me as an artist, as a writer, I know fine well I can do the job. I've wrote books before, but it's those were for sort of internal things within the escapology industry. I've wrote a lot of stuff there, but again, that's not what you call a public release, because you can't exactly have books on lockpicking available in W.H. Smith's. It's not really a good idea, you know what I mean? So I've got a lot of things I got under my belt. I've done, this is without doubt though the longest book I've wrote in my life. It's been very enjoyable, and there have been some moments where it was like banging your head up against a brick wall, because for every bit that you actually like writing about, the projects are great. Everybody enjoys writing about projects and things that they've done. There's always something really boring you've got to cover as well. And I'll just start walking because it's getting a bit cold on that there seat. It's made of metal. So you might say, well, I've got to cover the whole thing about rig topology in detail, which is great, but it's not the most interesting thing or rewarding thing for a writer. But that doesn't say that you've got to ignore it and pretend it doesn't bloody exist, or just touch on it. No, you've got to still, I'm treating everything the same. Everything, I'm going into as much detail as the space will allow. We are talking about a big book. So far I can't tell you exactly when the book's out, how many pages it is, and stuff like that, because that's still NDA. Now I won't be making a proper announcement on Zbrush Central and things in the long run, but this is basically for those people that follow the Waynecasts that I do on a Wednesday and stuff gives you a little bit of a heads up first. So go out shouting from the fucking rooftops. Yes, there will be a Zbrush book out by yours truly. I'm an experienced writer. I like to think I'm a fairly decent artist, and I've been teaching people for years on a number of subjects. So you know, when you pick up this book and you pay your money and you get this book, which is through Wordware publishing, by the way, you're going to get a quality product. I would not put my name to any book that wasn't a quality product. Simple as that. So feel free to mention it to family, friends, anybody remotely interested in Zbrush. In fact, even if they're not, good. This book, there was two ways I could have approached it. I could have taken what I consider as a professional writer, the easy way out, and dragged in a load of people, like friends in the industry, that are good modelers, and said, write a chapter, and basically the book would be done in a couple of weeks. But I didn't really want to do that. So I thought, well, you only get one chance at something like this. Such a large, in-depth book and a piece of software with as large and massive impact as Zbrush comes along once every 10 years for a writer. So I thought, I've got to do a good job of this, because while the DVDs stick around, alright, when Zbrush 4 comes out, the Zbrush 3 and 3.1 and even 3.2, should we see it, they'll be mothballed, all those old DVDs. In the same way as the DVDs for Zbrush 2 were. Not because they're not any good, because they were. Glenn's one was fantastic. We all know that. I like to think mine are pretty good as well. But when Zbrush 4 comes out, it'll all get mothballed. And you know that in a year or two, or a few years, 40 outside, that any models you do are going to basically disappear at the ether. And as you progress as an artist, then your models progress and get better. So the older models, you look at them one day and think, well, I don't like that as much. Excuse me. I've got to stop for a second because the sheep are looking at me like I'm mad. I hope you can see the sheep there. Just beside that massive pile of horse shite. There you are, they're all staring at me, thinking I'm a lunatic. But yeah, so I've basically handled this solo. There was one person that I was going to bring in, that unfortunately time conspired against us, and that was as a way of sort of paying back. I was going to ask Glenn Southern to do a special chapter, but unfortunately Glenn is so busy right now that although we'd absolutely love to, he's not able to at the moment, which is a bit of a bummer. But I know I've got Glenn's support, behind all this. Have done all the way. Glenn's one of the few people that's known about it from fairly early on, and has been a great support. Now, the models for this book, it's going to cover a lot of stuff. We're covering organic, your standard organic stuff, covering modelling environments, modelling hard surface stuff, modelling weapons, texturing, rendering. We'll also be covering getting your displacement maps and all maps into external applications. I'll be covering a lot of this stuff. Obviously things like game pipeline workflows can fill a number of books all on their own. So I've had to prioritise this to the high end, high poly side of the workflow. So there you go. I'm going to check quickly the time. And I've got to go. See you in the second part, because I'm running about 9 minutes 15. And you'll drill by now. If it overruns, I'm buggered. So I'll see you in part 2, and I'll outline a bit more.